and we start to terraform the planet.
And when you say terraform, you mean like basically to re-engineer Mars to make it like the climate and the atmosphere more like Earth?
Correct. That sounds like a lot of hubris, but the truth is that the technology to do everything I'm about to tell you already exists. First, we've got to warm it up. Mars is incredibly cold because it has a very thin atmosphere. The answer lies here at the South Pole and at the North Pole of Mars, both of which are covered with an incredible amount of frozen carbon dioxide, dry ice. If we heat it up, it sublimes directly into the atmosphere and thickens the atmosphere the same way it does on Earth. And as we know, CO2 is an incredibly potent greenhouse gas. It actually won't take long for the temperature on Mars to start rising, probably less than 20 years. Right now, on a perfect day, temperatures can actually reach 70 degrees, but then they go down to minus 100 at night. What we're shooting for is a runaway greenhouse effect. Enough temperature rise to see a lot of that ice on Mars, especially the ice in the ground, melt. As the atmosphere gets thicker, everything gets better. We get more protection from radiation, more atmosphere makes the planet warmer, so we get running water, and that makes crops possible. It will rain and it will snow on Mars. Eventually, Mars will be made to feel a lot like British Columbia.
I mean, I get, even though the technology exists, to me and to I think a lot of people listening, this sounds outlandish.
Yes.
But you are convinced this is going to happen, that humans will do this.
One of the reasons that I wrote the TED book, How We'll Live on Mars, is that I wanted to tell people that this is a completely unregulated environment. People are going to Mars, whether we like it or not. SpaceX is devoted to getting to Mars. There's going to be a space race to Mars. People are going to Mars. There's going to be a civilization on Mars. It's going to happen a lot sooner than people think. The only reason that I'm trying to point all this stuff out is that now is the time to think about this.
Let me just push back on something for a second here, because a lot of people, like astronomers and scientists, they're saying we should not be focused on looking to Mars as a backup planet, right? That instead we should be focused on fixing Earth. Like, this is our planet, we're destroying it.
I'm sympathetic with the idea of leaving Mars alone for scientific exploration and not for massive human habitation. I'm sympathetic with the idea of leaving Mars alone for scientific exploration and not for massive human habitation, because Mars is an extraordinary scientific park, just as we've treated Antarctica as a scientific park. But we need to get realistic here. I think that actually exploration is built into our DNA, and I think it's important that it's built into our DNA, because if the human species is to survive, it must become an interplanetary species. And I'm not just talking about Mars. You have to go well beyond Mars. I think by then, we've found other habitable Earth-like planets where we don't have to terraform them, that we can actually reach in a human lifespan. And then we begin to move off of Mars and beyond Mars in this nomadic way to other planets. And that, it like hurts your Earth first kind of sensibilities to say, oh, we're just a species that keeps moving on and using up resources. But the truth is that those resources that we're using up are expendable. You know, eventually the sun begins to expand and completely destroys the Earth.
Yeah, we got a couple 100 million years before that happens. I mean, you know, call me an Earth firster, guilty, but I mean, you know, like, this is kind of makes sense that we're here to stay for a while until we go. But I think we still have some time.
Well, first of all, humans are not going to move to Mars as the preferable place to be. There's going to be just a few million people. The vast majority of people are going to continue to live on Earth, but you do need a backup planet. Ask any 10-year-old girl if she wants to go to Mars. Children who are now in elementary school are going to choose to live there. And that means humans will survive no matter what happens on Earth. Thank you.
I will get along without you now. I found someone who loves me more than you do, and she will never break my heart, no. So don't you ever try to change my mind, 'cause I won't take you back. You gotta tell her again. Oh, I will get along without you now. You're a noble girl. Oh, I will get along without you now. You're a noble girl. I found someone who loves me more than you do, and she will never break my heart, no, yeah. So don't you ever try to change my mind, 'cause I won't take you back. You gotta tell her one more time.